Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So on Hot Topic today, the story we're talking about has my heart beating. It's a really sad story about a young boy whose intestine was cut out. He got a visit from the governor, and we're talking about the people perspective. There was another video that surfaced about a man that is in Plateau State. This doctor runs a hospital where they said he offered cheap services to many people in Jos, and a lot of people go there only to find out that he's been harvesting organs of people illegally. How do we deal with the fact that Nigeria is shifting towards a place where the end justifies the means? Any taking advantage of the vulnerable, taking advantage of people that we know might not be informed, and lording our space, our authority over people negatively. We're going to be discussing it. We'd like you to join the conversation by calling us on 081 076 41679, or you can call us on 090 241 63440. Now, we're going to be taking different perspective. What can the government do to strengthen the institution that protects the average citizens of Nigeria? How do we reduce cases of illegal organ harvesting? Who should we talk to when we find this kind of situation has happened? How do we get justice for them? How do we strengthen the civil society to clamor for justice for them? There are different angles. But YK, when you heard the story about the boy whose intestine was removed, what was your first response?
My first reaction, to be very honest, was horror. Because last week I had read about this lady in Plateau State who complained of, her doctor said she had appendicitis. Yeah, and took her in for a 1-hour operation. They were there for 7 hours. After she came out of hospital, she started falling ill. Every time she goes, they will give her painkillers. Yeah. But the pain did not go. So she went to another doctor. And that one found her kidney. That one had to ask her, did you have any operations? She said, no. You have only one kidney. So apparently that guy had taken out her kidney to harvest. You know, it's horrible. These are horror stories.
Exactly.
For money, you will remove the life of not even fast, slow, painful death. Slow, painful death. Where are our values? And you know what he said? That doctor, I don't know about this, because this one, they haven't even found out who removed his intestine. He said it was the work of the devil.
But he was profiting from the work of the devil.
Even the devil self go.
Don't tire.
Why now? Why?
The devil self will shock.
So this young boy, Akin-Bright, his mom had done a video where she called on the, Governor Sanwo-Olu to come to her aid. And at the time, I even thought, because the way the video sounded was that it happened at LASUTH. It was later on it became open. I'm trying to get the name of the hospital. He initially was admitted at before he was moved to LASUTH. And I think in between, he was also moved back. But the governor responded immediately. He committed to his treatment. The House of Assembly visited him like last week. And then this morning, the poor boy died. Very young life that could have, been anybody in this world.
He could solve.
You don't know the solution to the world's problem that boy has been created to solve, but in your wickedness, that devil minding his own business, he said tissue to sell his organs, because they took his small intestine was reported to have been missing. And what I would like is a proper investigation of all the facilities.
All the hospitals.
He was hospital facilities, even the lab where they take blood self, he should investigate it. Everywhere he has ever been, because this was why Uni Umoren was killed in Akwa Ibom. This has been happening in different ways. The one YK said, when we took the story, I was still on the break. I remember in my house thinking, how is this possible? That you have
hospital,
and you went to a vulnerable community where you'll be giving them free healthcare, just harvesting. A simple appendicitis that takes maybe an hour, you will do for 8 hours.
So even find out that the man read economics.
The hospital.
That man is not a medical doctor. He read economics.
You see him? He just learned how to butcher.
He read economics, yeah. And took on fake license to be practicing and deceiving people. It's here. I personally feel that there are some things that we need to put our foot on. I see countries who have been able to make changes, and I see how they use terror and fear to hold the people down from committing this sort of crimes. And I think that's the best way, because after investigation is good, at least, so that you don't punish the wrong person for the crime. But when that person is finally caught, kill him, buy him, take that person out. Let people know that if you are caught in this kind of crime where you are taking another life for greed or whatever you want to profit, you are going. So they will decide to, if they want to continue on that business, hoping that they will not be caught, and the day they are caught, and that's it. That's the only way, because these people have, it usually works like a syndicate. They have people who are learning from them. They have young people who are understudying them, who will be planning on taking up the business, you know, set themselves up in using other people to profiteer, killing people to profit. And we do the thing, we send them, maybe they are found guilty, you send them to jail, they do 5 years, 10 years, maybe a government comes one day and decides to, you know, set people free, or there's a jailbreak and these people escape. We cannot give them that escape. This is wickedness to humanity, and it must be handled the same way. And if we really want this to stop, that's the only way to go. It's not everything that democracy will work for. It's not everything that would have to sit down at a table and negotiate. There are some crimes against humanity that you must follow the same way. That's just my own judgment on the matter. And we all need to be careful. We all need to seek, there are certain things I go to the hospital for, and I always seek a second opinion. But can everybody afford to seek that second opinion? Some of these people are just, you know, barely trying to make ends meet. They will go to this hospital that is trusted. If you go to those local areas, you see those small mushroom clinics that the women trust, everybody trusts, the villagers trust. They just go there to help themselves, and you sit down and you do this to a fellow human being, and you say we should have conversations and negotiations and send you to jail. No, you deserve more than jail.
Sort of things would even discourage people. I know someone who, when she's sick,
she won't go to
no
the hospital.
paracetamol. She doesn't take it. She doesn't use any oyibo anything. She will wait it out with her water. The worst case, she will cook her agbo. She said she will face that way. And her parents live for long, and she's so healthy at her age, over 60, you would not even know her age.
Let's talk about preying on the vulnerable.
Because of things like this, when they hear it, they'll be like, God forbid. Someone said to me once, is it not gas that burned somebody's son? I can never use gas in my house. In that house, when we visited that old woman when I was a young girl, everybody was forced to use charcoal pots, not even stove, because of her fear. So we should think of, you know, how this would discourage people. This is why some women will say, let me have my child at home. I'd rather, you know, not even considering that there are other risks that may happen.
Yeah.
We must make deterrence through, you know, punishment. And it's not just killing. Let's investigate properly.
Yes.
Exhaust, you know, the time of that the law has granted the person, and be certain. But when that person is found
guilty,
let the punishment be so strong, it will discourage other people.
For some are very obvious. For some, it's very obvious. The Plateau State story, the woman went in, she's having stomach pain. You said you were going to do a surgery called to remove the appendicitis. You removed her kidney.
Stayed 8 hours.
That one is very clear, without her permission. So we have a law in Nigeria supporting organ donation. You can donate your organ in Nigeria. You just need to be 21 years. You need to be above 21, and you need to give permission. That's all. So we have that law. So organ donation should be encouraged, because obviously there's a market for organs. That's the thing, because whenever we're I did a course a few years back on conflict resolution and mediation, and they said whenever you want to resolve an issue, you need to find what's benefiting the issue, what are the causes, so that you don't try to cure the effects. The effect we're seeing is criminality of organ harvesting. But when we find what's the problem, there's a market for organs, organ donation, organ markets. So we need to create a system of organ donation. And maybe when people die, when people die, people should be able to donate, like upon death, organ is donated. We don't have that system. I watched a movie, they say once you die, my organ can be harvested as and given free.
People
maybe we need to
give their
encourage
bodies
that
for
system.
Studying. Let it be documented. Why is our former senator in the prison in the UK?
Ekweremadu story is exactly...
Failure to document. So organ harvesting, organ donation might be legal. Organ harvesting is still a crime. And there's a thin line. That thin line is my brother, I want to help me. So don't sign. He will now carry him and cross. If in Nigeria, is my neighbor, I wanted to do appendicitis. When I reached there, I saw it was a kidney. Uncle, abort mission.
Yes, so
don't continue. Close up, oh.
Close that up.
We have a caller. Ayodele has called in. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ayodele.
Yes, good morning. How are you today?
What do you think?
What you are discussing today, this organ harvester, it is against humanity.
Yeah.
It is purely against humanity. And a lot of them are not even good news upon humanity. All these things come down to we don't have a proper recording and supervision. You can imagine an economic becoming a doctor, harvesting people's organs. If there are been a way of checks and balances, if in Nigeria, we don't have a follow-up, we don't have a supervision, we don't see where we can check ourselves and know what is going on. A lot of people, a lot of our what do I call it, ministry or all this, it may return somebody an errand, no follow-up, no supervision. So we don't actually know what is happening again. So that is why a lot of people fear to go to government hospital or this. That's why they follow private hospitals. And there now they have a lot of solutions.
Thank you, Ayodele. Preying on the vulnerable. This is not carried out by trained doctors. So, because I said earlier that, the medical doctors have taken this, what they call it, Hippocratic
Hippocratic.
Yes,
Hippocratic
the oath they take. This oath they take prevents them from causing harm to any patient or any human being. But these people, the one in Plateau was not done by a medical doctor. Is a quack. Is a quack. And it was carrying out surgeries. Many of this stuff are not carried out by professional doctors, but we're preying on the vulnerable. What that means is we know these people cannot afford to go to an expensive hospital. They are not educated or learned. And so in taking advantage of them, you know, if you say, this is what I want to do for you, they cannot go to the lab to go and verify or to read if this is what the test actually shows, and then you carry out something different on them. We also know that there was a case of baby factories where people were being kept to produce babies for other people.
There's also the attitude of medical practitioners when they don't want to explain. So I went to a particular lab to have a procedure done. And I'd gotten that referral from a doctor friend who said, this is the best in the field. And when I got there, it wasn't covered by any of my plans. So I said, okay, I will pay out of pocket for this procedure. The person gave me an attitude that I regretted why I paid. Wow. My doctor, Dr. Adebola, will sit you through before any procedure and explain. In fact, sometimes just to get bored that, do the thing I've already experienced before. He will still be breaking it down. The role of your self, the role how it will affect your life, your family, your well-being, everything detailed. And it was the
must
rare
encourage that.
to see. Even though we are in a hurry in our public hospitals, can we also insist that's the standard? Let people understand exactly what you're doing for them and let them be clear before they sign or commit to anything. Now,
we're talking about those that are educated.
The hospital suspected for this. It's a private hospital called Obitoks Medical Centre in Alimosho area, carried by Punch. And the government can do something for this boy. Because now there's an hashtag.
They find out that that's where
he did a surgery there before he was referred to LASUTH. The mom's video said it happened at LASUTH. LASUTH denied. So every investigation
needs to be done fast.
As fast as possible. Let's
take a call. Amina's called in from Jos. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, I have Tope, I have Nima, I have Obialiju and Whitey on the show. As regards what is happening in Jos, I'm a medical personnel that is supposed to start a job in this same hospital, but I noticed that there's always dead people. Every day, there's virtually no day you don't account for dead in that hospital.
Deaths, yeah. People are dying.
That was why I had to hold on. My husband and I had to hold on that let me not start my job yet there. Now, do you know, as I'm talking to you now, there's no arrest so far that has been made?
No.
Only questioning. And this so-called doctor is supposed to be, is assumed to be, or how will I put it now, is a pastor. He's also a pastor in Redeemed Church.
This economics.
Yes.
Well,
This man,
Amina, I need to put it out. The Punch carried information 9 hours ago that the police command in Plateau has arrested 2 other medical personnel involved in organ harvesting by the quack.
this morning, yes, I have that news. Do you know we have 7 other people from this same hospital that went for scanning and their organs are missing?
Yes. So what we're hoping is, because you mentioned that they haven't arrested anybody, I needed to also ensure that we're able to inform people that the arrest has taken place. Arrest is not all we want. We want justice. We want judgment. We want prosecution to
we want
the
justice.
end.
Concerning this woman's case, we want justice. This woman has been going back and forth, back and forth. This idiot has been giving her bail release.
So sorry, Amina, thank you so much for calling on the show. I'm happy that you had the sensitivity to step out. But let's talk about other nurses and doctors who work there, who are qualified nurses, who are seeing things, but are now looking away and saying, I don't know how to speak concerning this.
You see, something evil like that, criminal, not even evil, because not everything evil is criminal, happening.
And you did not see anything.
And you say you did not see anything.
You're comfortable.
You did not say anything.
You need to earn money.
You have
Let's take a
aided
break.
and
When we come back,
abetted.
I'll come to Ike. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.